Hi, it's Addie Kelzer with Urban Fitness Twin Cities, and today Kaethe is here to teach us a quick 5-minute exercise that you can do to strengthen both your upper and your lower abs. So she's going to show me how to do it, and please go ahead and roll out your mat and follow along with us today. All right, let's go ahead.
Okay, so first thing you're going to do is lie down on your mat. Okay, so I call these upper and lower pulses, and they're more or less how they sound. Couple tips first. I like to do my abs in what Pilates calls imprinted spine, so from the base of your tailbone all the way to your upper back should be firmly pressed in the floor, so it's like you're imprinting your spine into the ground. Two reasons for this. One is it helps you know when your back's moving, and you don't want your back to move because then you're working your back muscles and not your abs. And the other reason is because then you can really pull those low abs in and stabilize your hips. The other tip is you want to think about your abs, instead of going up towards the ceiling, you want to pull in from your belly button, center of your spine, towards your spine, and then press it out towards the side. So your abs are literally coming in and spreading out. All right, so we're going to start with our upper pulses. Hands can either be behind your head or they can reach down towards your toes, whichever you feel more comfortable with. And if you have either a yoga block or a small ball to put in between your knees to make sure your knees don't spread out further than your hips, that can be a helpful little tool as well. So let's start with your hands behind your head today. Okay, so what you're going to do is curl up like you would a crunch. Then you're going to stay up here and you're going to do little pulses up with your upper body. Pulling those belly buttons in and spreading them out. Good. Good, just a couple more. And you can do anywhere from 10 to 20 to start, depending on where you feel comfortable. Good, and come down. Now if you want to increase the difficulty of those, you would just bring your knees up to tabletop. Knees directly over your hips, shins parallel to the ceiling, and then you could do them that way. Yeah, pull everything in and open. Yeah. So if you can see your belly button, you don't want it to round up towards the ceiling. You really want it to flatten out. It's going to build you more of that six-pack look. It's also going to get into the muscles underneath your transverse abdominis. So you're working your whole core and not just your big muscles. Good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is lower abs. And for these, your knees must be in tabletop. So I'm going to have you bring your knees back up to tabletop. Good. And for these, unless your head is up, I would put your hands down by your side, reaching towards your toes. So for starters, you can leave your head on the ground, and then we'll lift our heads up in a minute. But what you want to do for these, you're going to pull your knees towards your chest, but you're not going to do your legs to do this. What you're going to do is you're going to push your belly button in towards your spine, which is going to make your hips rock backwards slightly, and then you're going to release just a little bit. So you're doing little pulses by pulling your belly button in and releasing slightly. Not all the way. Keep that spine pressed into the ground. You want to make sure that low and mid back is pressed into the floor. Yep. But this comes down. Yes. So your legs move, but it's not stemming from your legs. It's actually coming from your hips. Good. Try one more. Good. Now bring your hands behind your head. Curl your upper body up off the mat. And now again with so this is slightly more advanced. So once the first set gets easier for you, you can lift your head up off the ground and do it with your head up and your knees in tabletop. Still working those low abs. You should really feel it kind of in your belly button and maybe even a little bit more towards your pelvic floor. Good. Yep. Okay, last set. Once you've mastered those, you're going to do upper and lower pulses together. So when you're ready, come on up. And then you're just going to come up and in at the same time and releasing slightly. So it's small movements. It's not very big. Keep it very small and controlled. So you're really targeting your whole core. Good. Last one. Very nice. And again, you can start with 5, 10, 15, 20, depending on where you're at. Once you hit 20 comfortably, I would start moving it up to the next level. Any questions?
No.
Great.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.